That's good.
Okay. Hey, everybody. We're back for another episode. I think this is going to be episode 6.
Yes.
Am I counting right
6.
this time?
It would
6
be 6
this time. Jesh and I are here together again, and we thought we would talk about just general health and like the ways that you can do things to like better your health and your mental health and your physical health. Sometimes if you're getting stuck and stressed, ideas and things that can work to kind of get you out of that. And then if you're feeling like you're in a great place, things that you can do to just keep yourself in a great place. And so
Yeah.
we thought maybe we would just talk about that today. Talk about some of the stuff that we've learned over the years from lots of therapy and counseling and experience, and some of the ones that we find work really well for us. I think that's the topic for the day. So hopefully you will enjoy this, and hopefully you will maybe learn something new. And if you don't learn anything new, maybe you'll just feel like more surrounded by people that are like-minded and that understand where you're at in life.
Yeah. So, without further ado, I think we were just kind of talking about therapy a little bit, and we were talking about meditation. Meditation's a big one. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you meditate quite a bit.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've learned that I've been working on is the practice of meditating. And there is a great app that I use that was introduced to me this summer called Insight Timer. So INSIGHT Timer. It's totally free, and it is really, really cool because they have short meditations, long meditations. They have stuff that helps you sleep. They have music you can listen to if you have trouble sleeping at night. A lot of the meditations you can search by like topic. So if you're dealing with a lot of stress or anxiety or fear or grief, pain, loss, like different things that you might be going through, you can search by those keywords and they'll suggest different meditations for you, and you can just scroll through. They're all rated, so you get to see what other people have rated, whether that meditation was helpful for them or not. And I think the thing I'd like to say about this,
And this is not a paid ad. Let me just put that out there real quick.
No.
It kind of sounded like a paid ad, but
no.
it's definitely not a paid ad. Just an app that you like.
Just
right?
an app. It was an app that was shared with me this summer. If you've listened to our previous episodes, you'll know that I spent about 7 weeks this summer in Florida at a really small health and wellness place that deals with just helping you learn a lot of these things about how to deal with past traumas and hurts, and learn about yourself and ways that you can stay healthy. And I really learned a lot in that experience. It was really a wonderful experience, and this app was recommended to us there. That's really where I first started learning about meditation. I'll tell you that when you hear the sound or someone say meditation, it feels like, I guess, maybe overwhelming, or like you have to sit in silence for a really long time and think about nothing. That for me is difficult to do. I have a really hard time turning my brain off. It's very hard for me to get my thoughts to stop. I will sleep and wake up in the middle of the night and immediately my thoughts are running again. That's something that I never felt. Meditating felt too overwhelming because I didn't know, how do you make your thoughts stop so that you can sit in this calm meditative state, and and like I was like, I will never be able to do that. One of the things that we were taught down there about it was the easiest way to start is to recognize that meditation is really about just observing. It's not about judging yourself. It's not about trying to, make the thoughts stop. It's not about judging that the thoughts won't stop. It's just about observing where you're at. And so for me, one of the things I would do is we would do like a 10-minute or 15-minute meditative like reading. So similar to what this app provides, where somebody's talking about a topic and they're just reading it to you and you're closing your eyes and it's kind of taking you through this very restful, peaceful space. And as they would do it, they would say, like, things, if the thoughts pop into your head, just, okay, there's that thought, and just let it go. Like, not resisting that you're experiencing that. And the more you get used to not judging yourself for that and not trying to control it and make it stop, the more your brain actually can like calm down and rest. By the end of doing this for 7 weeks, I could literally get to these places where I was so calm and my brain was thinking of like nothing, just resting. And it's really, really important for your brain to rest. As much as you give your body rest when you're sleeping, your brain needs rest. And this is one of the ways that you can do that.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah. I mean, meditation for me has been super important in certain spots. I would say, like, how do I even compare it? Because I'm not the type of person that, like, I don't meditate every day. And I wish I did meditate more, to be honest, because it is helpful and it's been really beneficial for my health and my mental health. But I'm like, what's the word when you go to, like, you only go to Christmas and Easter for church?
Oh, they call them creasters?
Yeah, creasters. I'm like a creaster of meditation. Like it's like when I feel like I need it, I'll do it or whatever. But I do think that I would like to start meditating more on a consistent basis. I have it in my notes of like to do every day. Sometimes I blank on it. I forget. And I think when I do meditate, it's a lot of the time it's when like, oh, I'm feeling down or something's going on or and it's really it really is helpful because I'm a lot like you. My brain is always moving, thoughts always kind of, coming about. If I'm able to kind of get myself to just slow down a little bit and just absorb like where I'm at right now, like in the moment, I feel a lot better.
Well, I think what you're saying is perfectly normal, because the reason this topic is coming up right now is because I've been trying to meditate the last handful of days because I've been so stressed with where life has been. That was something that I was doing consistently and tried to hang on to desperately when I came back from Florida. And, we get into patterns and habits, and it's really easy to know something's good for you and then let it go. And especially if you feel like you're doing okay and say that meditating has become something that you use to kind of try to calm down the storm, which I think is where a lot of people start with it. Once the storm is calm and you're feeling a lot better, it's easy to stop doing it and to be like, okay, maybe I don't need this anymore. And like, I'm busy and I've got things going on. And
right. And that goes for everything. Like,
yes,
do that with the gym. I mean, even with therapy, like we were saying, like there's been times where I'm in therapy and then I feel like I'm in a great spot. And so I stop going for a little while. And then it's like, oh, maybe I want to get back in. Like, it's just good to stay consistent with like certain things that are protecting and preserving your health.
Yeah. I've heard people say, and I'm going to get this wrong, the actual saying, but, doing these sorts of things, therapy, meditation, eating well, sleeping well, the point of them is to do them when you're well, so that when you go through struggles, you can get through the struggles better. And a lot of times what we do is we
use it as like a band-aid.
Right. Well, we use it as like a crisis, like fix. So it's like we're struggling. We feel like we're drowning. We're gasping for air. We're trying to get out of the situation that's overwhelming us. And so we start, grabbing at these things, which is good. That's not a bad thing. But I would love to get to the point in my life where I'm consistent in it through the good days, so that when the bad days come, because they always will, that I am more grounded and centered, and maybe those storms that come don't knock me off center so much and don't make me feel like I'm drowning as much. I just watched, if you haven't watched this, I would recommend it. It's called Stutz. Stutz. Jesh recommended this to me.
Brennan recommended it to me.
Brennan, our last guest, recommended it to Jesh. It's on Netflix. This guy, Phil Stetz, is a therapist in the LA area. He created these sets of tools, but one of the ones that stood out to me so much was him talking about the reality, and I can't remember what the exact words were. Do you remember?
Mm-mm.
The three, oh, I think three realities, the three realities, that the sooner you grasp the three realities, the sooner you'll be able to live. And the three realities is that there's always going to be pain in life.
Mm-hmm.
You can't escape it. It doesn't go away. So you might have times where you feel less pain and things are better, but there's always going to be pain in life. There's always uncertainty. You can't escape uncertainty. Uncertainty is a part of life as well. And that the whole journey here is going to be constant work. So you never arrive. And that's hard to grasp when we want things to be better. But those
because we all want to reach the finish line.
Yeah, exactly.
We all want to arrive.
Yeah, well, and we all want to be comfortable, and we all want to know that everything's going to work out just right, and we all want to know that things are going to be fine. And the fact is none of that is known to us. Like, all of that is uncertain. Pain is always a part of life, and doing this work is a constant thing. So I think that's one of the things that's been really sitting with me lately, is this idea of like, I have all these tools, and yet I use them only like when I feel like I'm drowning, versus making them a part of my everyday. So that when the pain comes, when the uncertainty feels overwhelming, when I'm dealing with the stress and the anxiety that comes up, I feel more grounded and more centered. I mean, more able to weather that stuff.
Yeah, these, you know, there's a lot of ways to like condition your brain and like, you know, help with the mental side of things. Like, I compare it a lot to, like, I already mentioned it, but the gym, like, obviously that's for your physical health. It's for your mental health as well. But if you're in the gym, you know, the whole goal is to stay in the gym and be consistent with it, and you'll see the progress. Like, if you just go to the gym when you feel like you're out of shape or this and that, you know, you might feel a little boost of energy in the moment or whatever, and you'll feel a little clearer. Maybe it'll make you feel a little better. But if you actually want it to be beneficial to your overall health, you have to be consistent with it.
For the long term. Yeah, it's all about building on it and then maintaining that. And I think that's the same concept when it comes to a lot of these tools for your mental health.
Right.
I just, you know, I maybe it's even in Stutz where he says that thing about like, you have to take care, or maybe I saw this as a quote, you have to take care of your mental health and your physical health, because either one requires the other. So it's like, if you're only focused on your physical health, but you allow your mental health to get, you know, to an unhealthy and untaken care of place, your physical health will decline. You can't do it. You're not going to be able to like manage that. And then if you're only thinking about your physical health, but you're not taking care of or thinking about your mental health, but you're not taking care of your physical health, what you put in your body and how you treat your body has a direct effect on your brain and your mental health as well. So they can't go without the other. It's usually always about trying to find that balance and being able to work towards not an obsessive space with it, but just a healthy space where you're thinking about, you know, taking care of your physical body because it's taking care of you, and taking care of your mental wellness because it's taking care of you. I feel that way with the gym situation. I feel that way about yoga now, where I was doing it so consistently and I really liked how I felt, and I felt strong and good. And then I kind of stopped doing it because I was like, oh, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. I can do it less. And I kind of knew I would do that. It's like I almost set myself up for it and was like, don't do this. And then I was like, here I am doing it. And, you know, lots of excuses. We moved. The yoga studios down here, I wasn't sure what they were. I was busy. Like, there's all this, you know, emotional things going on.
Yeah. No, and I mean, a lot of these things go like hand in hand with each other, you know. If you're going to the gym, you want to eat healthy too. You want to be, you know, there's other things that you need to be doing to be able to preserve your health, see that growth and change. That goes hand in hand with the mental health side of things. If you combine therapy with meditation, with, you know, eating better, with all,
yeah,
you're going to see a lot more benefits that way than you would picking one and trying to, like, you know, oh, this is the answer right here, because there's really no quote unquote answer, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's a lot of it is a trial and error. So, like, it seems overwhelming to be like, oh, I can't do all these things. And so, you know, the thing is you're right. Like, sometimes you have to just start with one thing. So, pick the one thing that feels attainable. Like, does it feel attainable to you to go to the gym? Okay, then just start with going to the gym. And then once you start to feel better about that process of going to the gym, okay, do you feel like now you can, like, maybe work on your diet a little bit, and then or work on your mental health, or add meditation? You don't have to do it all at once. In fact, every study and every podcast that I love and every book I've ever read about all this stuff literally says don't try to do it all at once. That's not how you can sustain lasting results around that kind of stuff. But you do just start somewhere. Just start with one thing. That was my therapist's advice to me last week. We talked about all the things that I feel I've just lost ground on, you know, my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health. And we talked about ways that I could, you know, kind of pull those things back in and what that looked like. And some of that, you know, for me is taking certain vitamins that I know help me and eating a certain way. I started eating, this has been a long journey, and Jesh can speak to this too, but I was diagnosed with MS in 2006, and I was very not well. And one of the first things I could do, because I didn't have health insurance, we touched on that a little bit in the last episode. One of the things I could do was work on my diet and see how much changing my diet could help with my MS. And so I've been on a long journey of quote unquote cleaning up my diet, but really what that means is figuring out what my body does best with, what my body reacts poorly to, what sorts of food add to the inflammation that my MS is prone to, what sort of foods cause more stress for me, cause me headaches. And I did a Whole30 about 7 years ago, maybe. Really what I learned in that process was that 90% of your physical and mental health actually stems from your diet. And that's hard to grasp because
it's a crazy concept.
It's a really big deal. What we fuel ourselves with has such a direct correlation to how our brain is working and how our body functions. And they say that your stomach is actually your first brain, because it has such a direct connection to all your wellness, because it affects your brain first, and then your brain affects all your other functions. And I've found a lot of success in eating well. I don't always stick to what I know is best and what's not, because that's life. Again.
Yeah, happens. Cheat days.
Yeah, cheat days. But I also know those cheat days, I'm going to pay for it. I know now, like, the next day, I'm not going to feel good. My body's...
You go eating a carton of ice cream tonight, you're going to feel it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. And that's one of the hardest, because I'm sure Jesh brings up ice cream, because I absolutely love ice cream.
Yep.
I used to joke that if you could have a diet of ice cream, I'd be the first one to sign up. Like, if that's all you could eat and live on, I'd be like, I'm in.
Her go-tos are the ice cream, the pretzels.
Yeah, the pretzels.
A little stuff.
But my body doesn't like ice cream. Mm-hmm. And my body doesn't necessarily like pretzels, even though I'm eating some today.
But those are better versions.
They are better, but they're still, you know, I still have to be
still cheating
cautious.
A little bit.
But that's only things I learned through this long process of trial and error. So really learning to tune into your body and what you need, what makes you feel like you're functioning your best. I do best on plants, and I think a plant-based diet is awesome, but that's not everybody, and you have to put in the work to figure it out for yourself. And that's a process. Yeah. Just like all of us. It's constant work. It's a journey.
Yep. That's very true. You've been telling me since I was young, like, trying to get me to fix my diet and this and that. And when I was younger, I was skinny. I had a fast metabolism. So, like, I could just eat a lot of different junk shit and, like, still be fine because I was active, playing sports. And I didn't think about it too seriously. But, you know, as I'm getting older now, it's like, damn, maybe mom was right, you know?
I was right.
It's those.
I was right.
There's always those things that when we're young, we're like, oh, she's just making that up or this and that. But hey, you come back and you realize, oh shit, my mom was actually right. I should probably get some of that together. So obviously still, you know, I still like food. I love food, but trying to like, you know, here and there just do better with it. Eat more greens, eat more fruits, things that are less processed. Obviously, I'm trying to get back in the gym. You guys don't know this, but I used to be, I mean, some of you may know this. Used to be skinny little guy, and then COVID hit, and then just beer every night until I got myself a nice little beer belly going. So right now I'm in the process of like getting rid of that, which means getting back in the gym. Need to definitely be eating better with the gym and stuff.
Well, there's plenty of science out there that would tell you alcohol is the fastest way to put on weight and keep that on. So it's one of the simplest things you can do to help yourself feel better is to limit your alcohol consumption. I know.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Everybody get mad. I'm just here telling you the facts. You gotta live your own life. I don't drink a lot.
Wait, time out. I don't know if I have to do this, but like we're not medical experts or anything, so I'm just gonna throw this in there in case. Like, we're not giving you
medical advice.
Medical
Please
advice,
talk to your doctor.
Go talk to your doctor. That's not my problem.
Yeah, so we're giving you our personal journey.
Yeah,
we're telling you things that we've learned through our personal experience. Also, things that we've learned from those that give us medical advice. But everybody is unique. Everybody is different. So if we say things like a plant-based diet, I'm not telling you that's what's best for you. I'm telling you
you're going to have to go figure it out for yourself.
That's what's worked for me. So. You might have a different set of circumstances. I do think universally it's safe for us to say that limiting your alcohol consumption is pretty well accepted across
I would agree with
channels. I don't feel like we're crossing any lines with that one. I feel like that's solid.
I would agree. And if you don't believe us, go do your own research.
Yeah, do your research. I used to do that to you when you were in high school and you disagreed with me on things. I would say...
Because I still disagree with a lot of things.
Just fine.
But I bring a lot more facts nowadays.
That's
and like my own research, so...
That's right. I would tell Joshua to go do the research and write me a paper about it if he was so adamant. Cite your facts. Give me citation.
A lot of the times, though, it'd work. It would shut me down because I was too lazy to go write a paper about it. If there's something I was really adamant about, I would go do some research and come back with, like, maybe bullet points or, like, like a quick little something. But for the most part.
Yeah. Well, so there you go. Another sneaky parenting tip. If you're out there and you're a parent and your kids get to that beautiful age of 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and they're arguing with you about things, just tell them to go do their research. They have access to the internet. It's so easy, and tell them to write you a paper. Say, hey, go research it. If you disagree with my statements and what I'm saying, write me a paper about it to explain to me why you think differently or why you believe what you believe. Because believing something should be fact-based. There should be substance to it. A lot of times I think we think opinions are facts, and they're not. So opinions are just what they are, opinions. And some of those opinions can be grounded in facts, and that's generally how we make good decisions, but still opinions. Calculated decisions, weighing things, doing the research, and there's so much out there. It's very overwhelming. Everybody's got an opinion, but that's where I say, like, figuring out what works for you and not being afraid to try things is, in my opinion, the best way. So I listened to some podcasts. One of them, we've mentioned it before, is Ritual. I absolutely love the Ritual podcast. I'll shout it out again here because it's been such a big influence for me and opening me up to a lot of different views. He is notorious for bringing on guests that don't even necessarily agree with all of what he believes. He's lives a plant-based lifestyle. He's a recovering addict. He has been sober for a long time. He has a lot of really amazing conversations with people that don't eat like he does, and they talk about the differences and why. And he brings on doctors that they don't always see eye to eye on the same stuff, and he's very open to letting a lot of opinions be shown and a lot of ways be broadcasted, so that you can, as a listener, can listen to what he's doing and sharing and the people coming on, and you can gravitate towards what resonates for you and what feels like it works. That podcast was shared to me by a good friend of mine years ago. So again, sharing information is a huge way that you can learn about new things. You know, that's kind of part of what we're doing with this whole podcast, is just sharing experiences and having these kind of conversations, which just opens up doors for people to explore and see what works for them. Yeah.
For sure. Good. I mean, I think the Rich Roll podcast, you've shared that with me. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of beneficial information there. So again, I'll say it 2 times. Y'all go check that out. Go check out Rich Roll's podcast. It's a good one. It's a good one. They provide a lot of valuable knowledge.
And he brings on the people that have the degrees that we don't have.
Yeah.
So
hopefully at some point we'll be bringing on some of those people too. I mean,
that would be fantastic. But these are people that have dedicated their lives to learning, and they do, you know, stuff on, he talks a lot about addiction and mental health and neurology and health and wellness, and it's centered a lot around that. So definitely check it out if you haven't. I think it's a good one. I like to go on these ritual binges where I'll listen to so many podcasts in a row, and then I just start feeling like super overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Maybe it says something about me in an area of my life I need to work on.
And then you're like, oh,
and then I kind of have to tap out for a while, because it's like it's like too much. My brain's like exploding with all this stuff. I'd be better off doing this in a more consistent, gradual way instead of this all in, all out thing that I do.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably something I'm learning about myself right now.
Again, I mean, with the health and everything, I think we were going to keep this episode probably, you know, a little shorter, around 30-35 minutes or so. So we're almost there. But I think overall, when it comes to your health, both physical, mental, it's important to just find something, or, you know, a handful of small things that you can start with maybe. You know, don't overwhelm yourself, as, you know, you were saying earlier. Like, find something you feel like is realistic for you, whether that's, you know, being in the gym or just starting to change up your diet a little bit. You know, 10 minutes of meditation in the morning, just throw on some meditation music and just, you know, breathe.
Maybe dip your toes into therapy if you haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, if you can. I mean, there's a lot of resources out there to be able to maybe even get therapy for free.
Yeah.
I don't know what all of that is. You probably know more than me, but...
Yeah, I mean, I know that they're really starting to open up more avenues right now for people to be able to access therapy free. But I do know if you're on Instagram or Facebook, you can Google a lot of people, and I can't vet all of what they're saying, but there's a lot of really wonderful therapists that have Instagram accounts, and they do, they post regularly, and they post tips, and they talk about different things. And, you know, it's not a session where you're engaging, but it is actually a start to being able to kind of look at some of it and think, like, does this apply to me? And like, can I take something from this? Does this kind of speak to maybe some of the things I'm dealing with?
Sorry about that. We got another call inbound, so had to hang up that. But keep going.
Jesh is a popular guy. I mean, nobody's...
Yeah, we might have to do this on your phone next time.
My phone's been sitting here, and I've got no calls. No calls. So, anyway, there's lots of resources out there, and I do think that you can Google and find lots of articles and things like that. And I know I haven't checked them out, but I know there's a big app that's been pushing called BetterHelp. And I know BetterHelp has actually been funded by Justin Bieber. I think he was in on that.
I didn't know that.
I think that's correct. If I'm wrong, okay, sorry, I'm wrong. This will be not the first time if I'm wrong. But I do believe that he is one of the people that has been involved in funding that project and providing that. And the goal of it, I know, is to provide mental health care right from your phone and allow you access. you know, again, we talked last episode with Brennan about traveling and how there's a lot of places you can spend your money. You know, those what are they? $100, $120 Air Force Ones. Is that what they usually run?
120.
120. Okay. So a pair of Air Force Ones, 120. We all love them. Not me, but you all love them. The thing is you can buy yourself lots of pairs of shoes, or you could buy yourself therapy once a month too. So sometimes it's about maybe what's best for you in the season that you're in, and maybe going 6 months without a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, especially for those people my age out there. The $1,500 you're spending on the Balenci's or Pradas or whatever,
Absolutely.
$400 on the belt, this
Yep.
and that. Like, there's a lot of ways you could be spending that money that could ultimately have a far bigger benefit.
Yeah, definitely. A much bigger benefit and long-term results for your life. You know, those shoes are going to go out of style, but the tools you learn to address things that you've been through growing up and in the past, and then how to just move forward in your life to be healthy and relate to others in a healthy way. That shit sticks with you forever. That never goes away. So
who knows, that those resources and those things you learn could make you more money, and then boom, go buy yourself those shoes later.
Yeah. There's amazing books out there. Emotional Intelligence is a great book.
It's investing.
Yeah,
that's a whole separate topic,
yourself.
but you're investing in yourself.
That's right. And you deserve that. Everybody deserves that. And we don't think that it's as important as it is, but it really is huge. This has been an important thing for our family. I didn't grow up with this concept. Actually, we were discouraged from seeking therapy and help.
I was forced into it when I was young.
He was forced into it. So we had both sides of that spectrum.
Yeah. I didn't want to. I didn't like it at first, but I've grown to really appreciate it and value it. So, and I mean, another free version of, I guess, therapy in a sense, journaling.
Yeah.
Journal.
That's a good one.
I mean, being able to just write your thoughts out. At the end of the day, you know, it's getting your thoughts and being able to process and you know, everything out there. So journaling is a great free option to be able to work on that as well.
Yeah, combining that with books and, you know, maybe online different one of the ones I follow is the holistic psychologist. She's on Instagram, and you know, there's lots of them. Combining those things is a great place to start. There's a lot you can do on your own. But yeah, we just wanted to
make a quick shorter episode on just taking care of your health, because it's important, and it's something we should all be doing.
Yeah.
Find time for it. Make time for it. It doesn't take a lot of time to be able to do some of these small little things like journaling or meditating or anything like that. Therapy once a week, every other week.
Yeah. And if you're struggling, don't be afraid to ask for help. Yeah. I sent a text to a group of my friends the day before yesterday, just needed to reach out and just told them how much I was struggling, and they showed up for me in a beautiful way. And if you don't have somebody to do that with, drop a comment. We can be those people. Everybody needs somebody that they can reach out to and share with and not feel like they're alone.
It's facts.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a wrap for this episode, episode 7. If you guys enjoyed this one, of course, feel free to drop a like, you know, comment if you want to hear a specific topic or anything like that, and don't forget to subscribe, follow, all of that. So.
Yeah, and absent any idea that somebody tells us, we have an idea for episode 7, and it's probably gonna be really funny. Yes. And you're gonna hear some crazy shit, which will be great.
Yes.
So something to look forward to.
Word. Well,
all right.
Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week. All right.
Thanks.
Deuce.
Peace.